Okay, so Chrissy was giving me some of the backstory on her PhD. Things are going awesome. She finished her semester. I was giving some
Woo.
workplace tea that you guys will never know about. Uh,
But it was juicy
it was pretty juicy. Maybe one day if
after
if I
once the
switch
tea
it
has been
up.
spilled. Yeah.
Yeah, once the tea's been spilled, I can let you know that I was an insider and you were almost an insider too.
Yeah, join our Patreon to get the in-between episode content.
F. Smith, we're expecting you. Just kidding. Patreon of one. Um, so Chrissy, so I'm a little sick, but I'm sounding better. And so Chrissy asked a really important question. And Chrissy, why don't you ask it again?
Oh. Well, Candy had said that her husband Andrew had gotten sick too, but he got more sick than she did. I said, "Oh, does Andrew normally get more sick than you do?" And Candy
Hmm.
said she has a story.
Yeah. And I said this, it kind of depends. I was like, but I have this story of a little while back, I had gotten the stomach flu, the stomach bug. Have you ever had it, Chrissy?
Mm-mm. Sounds awful.
It's horrific. I've only ever gotten it since I've moved to Atlanta.
Interesting.
It is interesting. And I'm wondering if it's like something with cold weather or the food
I was thinking the
or
food.
the water. Well, because you can get food poisoning, which is not contagious, or you can get the stomach bug, which is contagious.
Oh, I
But
don't know.
they manifest pretty much the same way. So it's very difficult to know what's what.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I got the stomach bug and I was violently ill, like horrifically ill. I mean, literally, I think I'm gonna die. And I'm sitting on the couch and I'm shivering and I'm like feeling horrible. And Andrew's like, you need to buck up. Like, you are being so dramatic. And he's giving me a hard time. Andrew and I had to talk about this because I was like, Andrew, when I'm ill, I feel like you're not a good nurse and it makes me fear for when I'm old.
Yeah.
Like, what am I gonna do? You're just gonna
Like,
be
suck it
like,
up.
suck it up. So what? You got a bad hip. You need to work through it. Like, I don't know. Okay. So he has gotten a lot better since this time. This was a couple years ago.
That's good.
All right. So he tells me, you need to buck up. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, all right, you don't even get it. Well, karma is swift because I'm getting better and then he gets sick. So I'm like feeling better and I'm like out on the town with my friends. It's pre-COVID, hanging out. I was social butterfly. And I get these text messages from Andrew and he's like, Candace, come home. I'm ill. Like I don't think I'm gonna make it. Like I need like Pedia Pops, I need water, I need hydration, like all these things. So I'm like, okay. So I go home and I go to Publix, I get all the things for Andrew and I like play nurse and I tell him, I was like, so it's pretty bad, huh? He's like, it's terrible. And I was like, yeah. So you don't think I was making it up anymore? And he's like, I think I got it worse than you did.
Oh
And
no.
I was like, luckily we're in a high rise where the windows don't open because otherwise I would push you right out.
I'll fix your sore throat.
How does a crack to the head sound?
You'll forget all about your little stomach bug.
Yeah. So So to answer your question, does Andrew get more sick than me? It's hard for me to know. I would say in this circumstance, this was a very, very mild cold for me. So I think he did get more sick in this circumstance. So
But that's funny.
yeah. What about you and Josh?
Well, um, I definitely think I'm more sick most of the time than Josh thinks. Josh just doesn't get sick. And regularly, I'm like, Joshua, I have a headache. Is that normal? And he's like, probably. I'm like, no, but really, I never get headaches. This seems strange. Like, diagnose me with something.
Oh my
So,
God.
Yeah, so we sent out our Christmas cards, and on it we, had a little like story or whatever. And I said like, oh yeah, Josh is in his first year of medical residency. And I was like, I don't know if his career is good for my hypochondria or not, but he has
Oh,
cured
that
me
made
of
me
several heart
laugh.
attacks this year. And it's true because I got this like viral infection, and anyways, doesn't matter. I had this chest pain. I was like, Joshua, I think I have a heart attack. He's like, you probably don't have a heart attack. I was like, no, I think I do. It turns out I just have heartburn.
Oh my gosh.
And so things like that regularly come up. I probably am more like, I think I do get sick more often than Josh does, but he probably
Andrew,
handles it better than I do.
okay, because Andrew's a little bit of a hypochondriac too. And I mean, it used to be really bad before. Like this one time he was convinced he had a blood clot and he was like, look at my
I've
knees.
thought that too. Oh, yes, I've thought that.
Yeah, because he's like, apparently, like, if your knee is like red, that can be like a sign that
Okay.
the clot is stuck.
Oh, no.
And so, and poor Andrew, he's colorblind. So it's hard for him to see
Oh,
like ink
no.
on skin.
Yeah.
And so then he always has to ask me. And then he's like, Kid, is this my knee red? Is this one red? Is that one red? And I'm like, no, it looks fine. But then he like is messing with his knees constantly. So then it is
Uh,
red. But I'm like, it is red because like you are like touching your skin and poking it and irritating it.
It's like, no, it's because I have a blood clot. Okay,
Yeah.
those are scary though. You can get a pulmonary embolism, then you're dead. I have the
Chrissy, I don't
same
know if the
fear.
medical field is like the right space for you.
I know the more I learn, the more scared I am.
I mean, sometimes they're like knowledge is power. Sometimes knowledge is, I don't know, not power.
Knowledge
Knowledge
is
is
a
pain.
coffin. Knowledge is pain.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what it should be. Knowledge is pain. Because when you don't know things,
Well, yeah, ignorance is bliss. So the
yeah,
opposite, knowledge is pain. That makes total sense, actually.
knowledge is pain. Yeah.
Yeah, I never knew that pulmonary embolisms were a thing.
My gosh. Well, we can both thank our heartburn to our lovely father and
Who's
his,
gone done, who's gone undiagnosed until we diagnosed ourselves and decided
well,
he also has heartburn.
no,
Well,
he was
he got bad like this
incapacitated.
year,
Yeah,
right?
because he's been ignoring it for 60 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he didn't have WebMD.
Yeah.
He was just like, this is how everyone feels. Everyone feels kind of queasy all the time. And
Coffee makes everyone feel slightly ill in the morning.
he's like, yeah, that's just life.
Knowledge could have been power for him
Yeah, in that
in
case.
limited amounts.
Yeah, ignorance was pain for him.
Yeah.
Okay, but we are talking about another hereditary family.
Oh, yeah, revenge is hereditary.
Her and an aquiline nose.
Aquiline nose.
Do you
What
remember
a
that word?
word. Now that you say it, I do, but I wouldn't have thought of it on on my own. But was that in Elantris? We've heard that
No,
word before. Was it
it was
in
get
Series of
a
Unfortunate Events?
no, it was get a clune.
Oh, that's right.
Our lovely,
Wow.
our lovely author, Arthur,
Aquiline.
which is a beak-like nose.
Oh, that's such a good word.
I know. This family
W-
has an aquiline nose.
Yeah,
That's their hereditary nose.
and they all draw their pinky on their chin
Oh, they do?
and they throw their head back when they laugh.
They go like this?
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Well, I thought it was like their pinky starts on their chin and then they draw it up to their cheek. Like, oh, what Candy did was she put her pinky on her chin and she like threw her head back, and that looks more like something someone would do.
I would never do that.
But I would never draw it up my chin or my cheek. That's extra weird.
This is like, have you seen Austin Powers, like
Yes, that's what I was
the
thinking. The
evil?
millionaire. $1 million. That's exactly what that is.
This book did turn into a Scooby-Doo by the end of it.
Okay, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts because you had some interesting messages to send me.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's do the intro and then let's do picture this.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I need to get my emojis. But in the meantime, welcome to Bookalicious, a podcast where two sisters chat about books we're reading. I'm Chrissy,
And I'm Candace.
her infirmed
Yeah.
counterpart.
Yeah. I'm barely there.
This murder mystery got a little too real.
Hmm.
But today we're finishing Hercule Poirot's Christmas by Agatha Christie, our
Yes.
first Christie novel. And our
Yes.
first game of today is Picture This, a game where we use emojis to describe how we feel after reading the book.
Yes.
Okay, do you have your emojis all ready to go?
I already sent them. I
You're
sent two
wait,
halves.
wait. Oh, okay. So the first half is okay. Candy sent four emojis in the first half. It was the queasy looking face where like,
Yep.
yeah, one eyebrow's kind of raised. Then a detective, then a Pinocchio nose, and then a husk of corn. I was so confused. And the second half is just eight baby faces.
That one should be self-explanatory.
Now I get it. They all look the same. Is that what you're saying?
Uh, Just go through it.
Okay. So, oh yeah, so I'm supposed to guess. So the queasy face, I'm thinking you didn't like how the story was going.
Do you
Oh,
want me to
okay.
tell you as you go?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's do
Should,
it as you go.
okay. So I'm thinking you didn't like how the story was going. You felt queasy while reading it.
No, I got irritated because we spent so much time putting everyone's alibis together, and then you flip the
Oh my
page,
gosh.
and then
Yes.
they outlined it, and I was sick.
Ah, I thought the same thing. It's like, dang it. We only turned the page. Yeah, Hercule Poirot outlines everything. He said, here is this where this person was. Here was their motive. It's like, ah,
I'm like,
dang it.
we spent so much time figuring that
I
out.
know. All this work for you, dear listener. Okay, so you felt queasy because we spent all that time and then they outlined it next. Okay,
Yep.
detective. I'm guessing because Hercule Poirot's doing his thing and interviewing
Yep.
everybody, finding the clues.
Hmm.
Okay, Pinocchio knows because it turns out everyone lied about their alibi, and there was
Yep.
like all these details that they conveniently left out.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, corn. Was that supposed to be like the diamonds? Is this a euphemism?
What's the Spanish word for corn?
Maze?
Mm,
Maize?
maze. Felt like I
Maze?
was
Oh,
in
this is
a
a maze?
maze. I like Googled
That's a
maze.
great emoji.
Yeah, I was like maze in my emoji search, and it pulled up the ear of corn, and I was like, okay, close enough.
I love that. Well, that goes great with what's her face? The lady.
Oh,
Um,
Pilar?
Pilar, yeah.
Well, she's Spanish,
Exactly,
like
maze.
Spaniard. She's not South American.
Well, but isn't it the same word in Spanish?
Oh, I guess it's a Spanish
That's what
word.
I was saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yes.
That's
Yes.
so funny. Okay, I really like the corn emoji now. Okay, and then eight babies that all look the exact same. I guess because everyone in the family has the hereditary aquiline nose and pinky
No.
to the chin. Because he had babies with everyone.
Yes, it's because it turns out he has like
He's like
10,000
Genghis
children.
Khan.
I was like, this is the second book we're reading about a philanderer with children just everywhere, and people saying they're not who they say they are. Just like Fox's tongue and
Oh,
Kieran's
fox's
bone.
tongue. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. It is exactly like that.
I'm like,
Oh
oh
my
my
gosh.
God.
I can't
Ah,
even keep track of all my children. Can't be bothered.
yeah. If there was ever a book to be like, don't cheat on your wife with everyone around town.
That's yeah, when we get to saying what the theme is of the book. So this was a great fable by Agatha Christie. Don't cheat on your wife. Wasn't that in
Ah,
her author summary that you did
don't
last
cheat on your
time?
wife.
Well, because she got a
Oh,
divorce. Did he cheat on
well,
her?
he
Or wasn't
he
clear,
said that he
maybe?
was in love with someone else and that he wanted a divorce. So at a minimum, an emotional affair. At a maximum, full on.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. Well, so yeah, so maybe she was drawing on from real
Honestly,
life.
honestly, if Andrew wanted to divorce me for someone else, I would kind of hope that it was a full on affair at that point. At
No.
least you'd be like certain,
No, you're
not
not
just like,
certain.
well, in your mind, not just like, oh, I like this person, like, let's get divorced.
I guess. I don't know.
No, now that I'm thinking about it, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, no, no.
I would
I
take Andrew to the cleaners if that
you
happened.
you'd move back up to a penthouse apartment, make sure the window's open.
Oh my God. Like he would have to buckle up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, no.
Yeah. No.
You're gonna start reading Agatha Christie to get ideas.
Oh my God. I'll stage my murder, go viral, and then be like, I was at a spa and I left
Where
my
else would I
car.
be?
Yeah, I left my car with a bloody cloth in it. Like,
It's so hard to find parking these days.
yeah, you're like, the air's so dry. My skin just got cut. Like, what? So I went to the spa to recover. Like,
What's so weird about that?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'd
Okay,
have to end
so
up, if I was fully Agatha Christie, I'd have to end up at your house.
oh yeah, we have a nice
You,
couch.
yeah. Okay. That took a turn. Uh,
Wait, what did?
that because I'm going from a luxury spa to sleeping on your couch. Oh my God.
Well, we're in a one-bedroom apartment. If you want
I
to
would
fund
need
a
your
second
bed.
bedroom.
No, I'm kidding.
The
I'm kidding.
outdoors is, well, yeah, Miami outdoors is great. We can just go full on tent camping.
Yeah, tent life. Okay. So those were my emojis. Why don't you send me yours?
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Okay. So I sent my emojis. Um, take away the middle one, the one of the man, because it's basically the same as the first one.
I think I'm gonna do them all.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so Chrissy started off with the best one. It's the emoji face with the nose, glasses, and mustache disguise,
I
which
think. Hmm.
that's how I imagine Hercule Poirot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I imagine he looks like, but this is probably about the Sugden,
Yeah. Well, everyone was kind of in disguise as someone else, like you were saying. But
honestly.
yeah, definitely the Sugden
Yeah.
disguise.
Then it's the finger pointing like directly at me, and that's because everyone was trying to point at everyone else.
I know.
The little redheaded boy, I don't really know who that's supposed to be actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Is it supposed to
What?
be like the redheaded stepchild coming to collect?
Well, it was kind of similar to the first one where it's like Stephen Lee comes and he shows up. He's like, I'm your son now.
Yeah,
Surprise.
yeah,
But then also the Sugden, he had a mustache. And so I just wanted to accentuate the mustache because
yes.
Hercule Poirot bought a fake mustache and put it on a picture of Simeon Lee. And he said, oh, that looks just like Sugden.
That's my evidence.
That confirms it.
I know. And then Sugden's like,
Yeah.
you
You
wouldn't have
caught
caught
me.
me. Yeah, if it wasn't for you meddling kids. I was like, okay, Scooby-Doo. Then there's the pig, which
We
good on
totally guessed
us.
last time. We did
We
pretty good,
totally,
I thought.
yeah, I thought so too. Well, that's what happens when you read a mystery book tethered to reality.
I know when there's clues reasonably sprinkled throughout.
Yeah. And then the last one is a man and woman with a heart between, and that's Stephen Lee with Pilar,
Pilar. Yeah.
aka not his
Not.
niece, someone else.
Thank goodness. And they
Yeah.
run off and get married together. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Okay.
That was a
Yes.
little shocking,
Those are
in my
good. I
opinion.
liked those. That was very shocking. I have thoughts on that.
Yeah. Okay. So you just finished reading the book. Do we want to just say like what happens, what the conclusion was of the mystery?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just
I kind of think so.
summarize the end and then kind of work backwards if we need.
Okay. Yeah. So what we find out is last time we had thought Simeon Lee, it was like a suicide thing. I still think that could have been a good story, but that's not what it was.
Mm.
So what it was that Sergeant Sugden, um, who is like the lead detective on this case, investigator, when he came to visit Simeon Lee, he had said, "Oh, Simeon had called me over because of the missing diamonds," but it turns out it was flipped. Sugden called Simeon Lee and said, "Hey, someone's gonna steal your diamonds." And Simeon Lee said, "What? Come over right away." And so Sugden came up and he went to Simeon Lee's room. Then he killed him. He slit his throat right there. But and then he set up all these like booby traps basically, so that then he could frame the murder later on. Okay, so he leaves dead Simeon Lee in the room, plants all the booby traps, leaves the room, then locks it from the outside to make sure that no one else comes in, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. And so then what happens later? He had uh, planned with Simeon Lee. He's like, I'm going to come back after dinner. And so he comes back after dinner. He pulls the cord that he had left dangling out of Simeon Lee's room. It was wrapped around all the furniture. So all the furniture falls down. And then there's this like pig stomach or something that apparently you can buy at the fair. I don't know. That was in the room. And so it like pulls out the pin on the pig stomach. So then it made this terrible like shrieking noise, which is what everyone heard. So now everyone's like, oh my gosh, the murder happened,
Oh.
right? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah, what you're saying makes way more sense than where I was at. I was
I
kind
think that's
of,
what.
yeah, this all sounds correct. This sounds way more
Okay.
correct than what I was thinking.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to know what you were thinking later. Um,
I was not thinking. I was like, this sounds crazy. Okay, keep going.
okay, yeah, so that happens. So now everyone thinks that's the moment the murder happened. Everyone runs upstairs. Of course, no one is in there. And then Sugden conveniently comes a few minutes later and he's like, oh my gosh, he died? What? And so and so that's what happened. That was the murder. And then we find out that not everyone was pretending to be someone else. So Stephen Lee is actually Stephen something else. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't
But
matter.
it doesn't matter. But um he was Simeon's
Oh, he's actually
or
Stephen
he
Lee.
is Stephen Lee. Oh, he was
Yeah.
Stephen Farr before.
Yeah, now he's
Yeah, yeah,
Stephen
yeah.
Lee.
Now he's Stephen Lee. Okay, yeah. So it
Yeah.
turns out he was Simeon's son, um, that Simeon had when he was in South Africa. So we were on
Yep.
the nose with that one.
I was like,
Um,
good job, Chrissy.
yeah, yeah. I
You
mean, she
truffle pigged
really,
that out.
I did feel pretty good. But I mean, Agatha did drop some good clues for that
Yeah.
one, you know? And so he came back to, was it just to like see Simeon Lee? Was he going to reveal his identity? I kind of forget.
I think it was just to see him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. Um, so that's him. And then Pilar, this one was wild. Pilar isn't the niece at all. So that story when she was taking her Uber over to the airport or whatever in Mexico, and there was a bomb and everyone died except her. She was like, it was so fun.
Yeah.
Apparently that did happen, but she was in an Uber with the actual Pilar. And
Yeah.
Pilar, the actual Pilar died. But on the Uber ride over, real Pilar was saying, I'm going to go see my fancy rich uncle or grandpa who has all this money in the States and, or in England, right?
Yeah, in
Yeah,
England.
in England. And Pilar's friend was like, huh, that sounds pretty good. So once Pilar died, the friend was like, maybe I can just be Pilar. And so then she goes to pretend to be Pilar. And no one questions it.
No, no.
What?
They're
Yeah.
like, all
So
right,
then, yeah, okay, you're Pilar now. We don't know who she is. And so now that Pilar is not actually part of the family, she and Steven can run back to South Africa and get married.
which is crazy.
The end. That's what happens. And everyone's pretty happy by the end.
Well, and Sugden gets arrested,
Yes, that's
and
right.
he was also one of the kids.
Did I not say that already? Oh,
I
you're
don't think
right. That
so.
was one of the big, yeah, you're right. That was like one of the big things. Pfft, duh. So Sugden also was one of Simeon Lee's kids. And so Simeon had an affair with someone, with a local woman, um, she gave birth to Sugden.
Sugden.
Simeon paid off the mom and was like, here, take this to take care of the kid. Don't say anything.
Hmm.
But I guess Sugden knew. I guess she had told him who his dad was. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure she complained about it all the time.
I'm just surprised it didn't get out more. But anyways, so Sugden has now grown up his whole life kind of being like, hey, I'm kind of resentful of my dad here. And so
Hmm.
he got the revenge gene from the Lees, and he's waited
Yep.
his whole life to murder Simeon Lee. And this is how he does it.
Yep. Hmm.
Hmm. Um, yeah, he had also so Sugden had also stolen the diamonds out of Simeon Lee's safe to make it seem like there was another motive to the murder.
And he hid the diamonds in this planter, which
Mm-hmm.
apparently had little stones that looked like similar to these diamonds.
Yeah.
And his intention was if it gets found, he's like, well, then it will look like good evidence against someone else. And if it doesn't get found, I can come back and collect it.
I see. Okay, because I was preparing for a Reddit game, and one of the comments on Reddit, I was like, that's a great point. They were like, why did he not point out the diamonds himself? Because that seems like good evidence that someone from the family did it and wanted to,
Hmm.
keep the diamonds. And I was like, that's a good point. But unless he was going to come back and collect the diamonds
Yeah,
after.
he was kind of like, I'm gonna put him here, and then no matter what happens, I win. Either they get found and then it looks like evidence against someone else, or it doesn't get found and then I can come back and get them.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. That's smart.
Um, so David and who is David married to? Hilda?
Hilda. Yeah.
So they were the ones who lived in the estate.
No, no, no.
No,
Lydia and Alfred
Alfred,
or
Lydia and
Albert.
Alfred.
I think it's Alfred.
Al, Al.
Yeah, he's gonna be Al now.
He's going to be Al. Lydia and Al, who lived with Simeon
Simeon.
Lee and took
Hmm.
care of him. In the will, they get half of the estate.
Right.
And then by the end, they decide to sell the estate. And then Al and Lydia have like a really happy marriage and they get to do all the travel that they had wanted to
Hmm.
do. They go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yep. Then the how the will was stated was that half goes to Al and then the rest are split amongst the rest of the children.
Hmm.
And so the quote unquote rest of the children doesn't include, what was her name? Catherine? No,
Pilar's mom.
Pilar's mom. And so then the children are like, well, that's not fair. Like, Pilar should get it. Like, the mom only died last year. Like, our dad didn't have time to amend it. So they wanted to cut her in. But who was it?
Pilar
George?
gets upset. Oh, George and Lydia didn't, or no, George and
Magdalene,
Magdalene. Yeah. They're like,
the
that's not fair.
politician and the poor
Yeah.
one, or
Who
the
loves
one with
money.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
They really wanted money. So they're like, we don't want to cut her in.
They said
So
this is
then
how the will's written.
yeah, exactly. So then the rest of the siblings are like, well, we'll cobble together an equal portion out of our shares and we'll give it to Pilar. But then Pilar's pissed because she's like, I just wanted to scam you. I didn't want charity. She's like, this isn't fun anymore. So she
Yeah.
says, pass. I was like, what?
Yeah, do you think that was like strange? She came here to get rich and then she had the opportunity and then she said no to it.
I'm like, did you set off the bomb? Like, you seem like a psycho.
I mean, yeah, she totally seems like a psycho.
She seems total psycho. I don't know.
I
She's unwell.
was it at all that she was like, "Oh no, I'm pretending to be Pilar and now they're like doing all these nice things for me," and she felt bad?
That could be part of it.
Was that
Maybe she
because
thought they
I could
were,
see that. I wouldn't want that.
yeah, maybe she was like, this is some rich family that's, ungrateful and whatever, I don't care. And then she gets there and then they're so nice to her and they welcome her in. And then she's like,
Yeah.
okay, now I feel
Fine.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a husband out of it. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
exactly. So I could see that. I could totally see that. Okay. So that's Pilar. Who's left? Harry gets his portion and then does he go off to Hawaii?
Well, Harry and Pilar are going to get married in South Africa.
No, not Harry.
David.
Stephen. Stephen Lee,
Oh, oh,
wasn't
that's
it?
right. Stephen is getting married to Pilar in South Africa.
Yeah.
Harry, what does Harry do? I think, yeah, he just kind of, is he going to go back to his old life?
Yeah. He's re-upped his coffer, so now he's gonna go squander that and then he'll probably come back to Al and ask for more
Yeah,
money in
probably.
10 years. That's his destiny.
Yeah.
And then we kind of leave a little bit on a cliffhanger about
Oh,
George and Magdalene.
well, okay. Let's a quick fact check. So actually, Harry is off to Hawaii. He's been
Oh,
meaning to go
okay.
there once he got money.
Okay.
Alfred and Lydia, yeah, they're gonna sell the place and they're gonna live their own life, so they're doing pretty good. Um, George and Magdalene, um, I think they're just kind of doing their own thing. They got money, so they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, but kind of left on a cliffhanger because they were kind of like, what were they up to? Like, who were they calling? What was going on there?
Wasn't, yeah, did they ever really explain that?
No, I think it was intentionally like vague.
Um, yeah, you're right. Oh, wait, no, no, no. He said, okay, they said there's one thing that never fit in. What was George doing after he telephoned? Why wouldn't he say? So basically, what happened, the hole in his alibi was he's like, oh, I was calling up until the time of the murder, but they checked the phone calls and his phone call ended 10 minutes before the murder. So they're like, what were you doing in those 10 minutes? He said, I don't know, just hanging out in the room. They're like, that's weird. Okay, it turns out that he was having a look through Alfred's papers on his desk. So he was trying to like see what was the like money situation like and like what are their affairs like. I think that's what was
Oh,
happening.
okay. Okay.
So
And Magdalene, turns out she's having like a long con affair with someone else.
yeah. Yeah. Was wait, no, or was Magdalene the one who was right outside the room right before
George's
the
wife.
death?
George's wife, because she
Oh,
she
that's right,
goes
that's
to
right, that's right.
Poirot because they're like because they're both of their quote unquote alibis is that they were on the phone. And he's like,
Um
Magdalene
what are
and
their names
George.
again? Magdalene and George, yes.
They both said that they were on the phone at the same time. And that's when we were like, oh, maybe one's in the office.
One of them is killing,
Yeah, in the office. I
seeing,
really like
yeah.
that theory.
That was a good one too. Yeah. But I
But
kind
it,
of
oh,
no,
go
no, you
for it.
go. Well, no, I was gonna say my thoughts on the ending, but no, you finish what
Oh,
you're gonna
okay.
say.
So it turns out Magdalene has what she told Perot is that she actually has like a boyfriend type of thing. And
Yeah.
she was calling him, being like, George sucks. Can't wait to be with you type of thing.
And that was real. Yeah, I guess so. That never really comes up again. Yeah, Hercule Poirot's like, oh, all right.
Yeah, so we are left to somewhat believe them, but it sounds like they lied. So it's like I'm still not 100% convinced,
Well, I
but
too. But I know they didn't do the murder. I'm pretty convinced of that.
yeah. So
So I'll
they're
take it.
probably they're probably crooked politicians or something. So they're probably doing something weird, something
Yeah,
unethical, but not
but
killing
not
in
murder.
this case. Yeah. So then who's left? Did we get everyone?
David and Hilda. So David, was feeling all of this like pent up anger about how Simeon treated David's mom, Simeon's
Hmm.
wife. But now Simeon died, and David's like, oh, la di da, life is good now, which is why people are like, maybe he killed him. And so then at the end of the book, David's still feeling good. Alfred and Lydia are going to sell the house, and they're like, hey, David, do you want any of our mom's furniture? And he was like, honestly, not really. So it
He's like,
sounds
the past
like,
should stay in the past.
yeah. So it sounds like he's moving on now.
Yeah. So he's able to recover.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Great. And then I think that's everybody, right? The last
I think,
scene is Hercule Poirot back at the fireplace, and he says, I really do love central heating.
yes. Oh, we find out that for the staff, we find out that I can't remember
Oh,
his name. For whatever
Horbury.
Horbury. For some reason I was thinking like pig, but maybe I'm thinking like hog or something. Horbury. I don't know. Whatever. Horbury, he had a rock solid alibi and but
Yeah.
he was known for doing blackmail on the people that he was like the rich people. So I think that was his
Oh.
scheme.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So he would
Okay.
sit and listen and then find out their secrets and then blackmail them and then probably get paid out and then go to like the next family.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. He probably picked
Hmm.
up a ton of blackmail with this family. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm never gonna have to work a day again. I have
Yeah.
8 different people I can blackmail.
Oh my God. I know. And then Tressilian, he kind of gives away some of the clues indirectly because he's like, "Oh, I'm so old and I'm getting like mixed up and I keep opening the door and I keep thinking it's Harry or Simeon Lee as a
Yeah.
young man." And then that's when Perot is able to start putting it together that these are all Simeon Lee's kids.
They all look the same.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, so end of the book, how did you feel? Was it satisfying? Did you like the how the mystery resolved?
I liked it. I thought, you know, plane definitely got landed. It tied up relatively neatly, which I thought was nice. But it did kind of feel a little bit like Scooby-Doo, like I said at the end,
Mm-hmm. As
where
in like there's just all of these like masks on. They all get pulled off at once.
yeah, like everybody's lying. There's so many people who are like, I'm Simeon, like two Simeon Lee kids at once. That felt crazy.
Mm-hmm. That is kind of a lot. Yeah, what if it what it I mean, do you think she did it that way just so that there'd be more like intrigue and stuff? Because it didn't have to both be Simeon Lee's, unless it was just showing that he did have like all these kids outside of marriage. There's so many that
Yeah.
two of them could come up at once.
Yeah. I mean, that could be. I kind of like the idea of Simeon Lee like screwing over his business partner and then his son seeking revenge.
Yeah, I kind of like that too.
I think I would have liked that better and it would have felt like less fantastical.
Scooby.
Yeah.
Hmm. I could see that.
And then
Yeah.
I think also the Scooby-Doo part is like as soon as Sugden's like confronted, he's like, "All right, I did it. And this
Yeah.
is how I did it."
I know. And all of Perot's evidence was this fake mustache. He said, if you put the mustache on, or what's his face? Sugden wears a mustache, but if you were to take off the mustache, you would look just like Simeon Lee. And everyone's like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
you're right. It's like, really?
Yeah,
That's it?
that felt like kind of crazy. Maybe that's how
Yeah.
crimes were solved
That's
back
how
then.
Hercule Poirot does it. I mean, because Hercule Poirot really didn't have actual concrete evidence, right? He was just like, here's my theory as to how it worked.
Very circumstantial.
Yeah. So it does seem like Sugden could have gotten out of it. But I wonder if he was like, you know what? I just wanted revenge. I don't care if I go to prison. So I want you guys to know that I did it. Maybe?
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
because he's like a constable or a sheriff or whatever. And it's like the worst place for someone in law enforcement to go is in the slammer where they put everyone else.
That's true.
Like that is a
Good
death
point.
sentence.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It seems like he would be a little bit more crafty in denying it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it, I don't know, the whole like staging, he could have just snuck in, slit the dad's throat, and then been none the wiser. Like no one would have ever thought it was him. By him like inserting himself into the crime scene, you know? Like,
Uh, well,
because no
well,
one knew he was there.
no, they did because the butlers let him in
How did they let him in twice though? Because
because
he had to come in, do the killing, do this crazy setup, which that sounds like it would take an hour at
it sounds like he
least.
just wrapped twine around all of the furniture, and it was enough so that when he pulled it from downstairs, it made a giant crash.
It was this huge mahogany furniture, which apparently one person wouldn't be able to flip over, but he has this string and he pulls it. And
Yeah, and it was enough. And it all worked perfectly. It was like
yeah,
dominoes.
yeah, it all worked perfectly. There was no twine stuck in the window. Yeah. But
Nope.
then, okay, so he does that, he does the murder,
Hmm.
and then he comes back.
So what happens is he comes the first time and he says, "I'm here to ask for donations," which was a cover story for him talking to Simeon Lee about the diamonds. He goes upstairs to talk about the diamonds, but actually he kills Simeon Lee then. He sets up all the twine and then he leaves and locks the door behind him. And then he, he and Simeon supposedly had planned to meet again later that evening. So he comes that first time totally normal. He leaves totally normal. He
Oh,
comes back to talk to Simeon Lee. That's when he pulls the twine and then he shows up at the door and
okay. I thought the
he's
first
dead.
interaction, I didn't realize he was there. I thought it was a phone call.
No, well, they did call. So, according to Sugden, Simeon Lee called Sugden and said, "Hey, I have a diamond mystery on my hands." But what actually happened was Sugden called Simeon and said, "Hey, I think someone's after your diamonds. We should talk."
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what happened. But Reddit brought up a great point upon my research was how did Sugden know about the diamonds? Did Simeon Lee just talk about this regularly?
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Well, maybe, maybe what it was is that like it sounds like him donating to the constable was somewhat plausible story. So maybe and they said he was very generous with his money, which seemed to the opposite of
Right.
how he was with his kids.
I know that didn't make sense. They're like, oh, he was very fair in all of his business tradings and he was always donating to things. And I was like, what? It
Yeah.
just
I was
seemed
like,
very like, yeah, out of character, especially because like apparently he did have that terrible backstabbing business deal in South Africa. But I guess he doesn't do that in England. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. So it's like if you're his family, he treats you like mud, but if you're a stranger, he's like quite generous.
I know. Maybe he has high
Yeah.
expectations for his kids
Yeah.
and
He's like,
they disappoint him.
yeah. He's like, "Ugh, these are my legitimate children. They all stink." He's like, I
I
bet I
know.
have better ones out there. So that was confusing, but maybe he like learned about it, or maybe yeah, maybe it was just common knowledge about these diamonds.
But not even all the kids knew about it. But yeah, it's weird.
Maybe like around town.
Yeah. Have you
I don't
heard
know.
about Simeon Lee's diamonds? They look like
Yeah.
pebbles.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that is kind of a plot hole.
Yeah, a little bit.
Unless unless he's been planning this for a while. So he's kind of been
He
scouting out.
scoped it out.
Yeah, and he's been like meeting with Simeon Lee so that it wouldn't be weird that he called him and like stuff like that. Like that's
I think that's
possible.
super plausible.
Yeah. And then
So Simeon Lee knew that was his son then,
no,
right? He
no, he had a
didn't?
mustache. Couldn't
You're
know.
kidding. What?
Well, okay, yeah, he must have known that was his son.
Because he paid the mom.
Unless it's happened so many times, he's just totally forgotten.
I mean, maybe. Or like, he never got back in touch with them, so he has no idea what this kid looks like, and he doesn't know
I'm,
the kid's last name.
yeah, I'm imagining this event has happened at least 8 times. And he just like, he tells his butler, Tresselin, he's like, hey, send them the baby care package.
You know the one.
You know the one. And
Million
then,
dollars.
yeah, and then Tresselin sends them $1 million and like a little silver rattle. And then, and then they're like, don't ever call us again,
This is all
And
you're
then,
getting.
yeah. And so I could see it, him not recognizing or remembering because he's like 85. He's so old,
I guess so.
he's not in his prime, his mind tired. And then this guy shows up in a mustache. I mean, you're like,
Could be
impossible to
anyone.
know. Yeah. There was a lot of funny lines about like,
Oh, do you have any?
I'd have to like flip through them, but there was like a couple of times where Agatha had me laughing. I was like, she's a funny lady.
I like her a lot.
Yeah. Like, here's the one about the mustache. Okay, so this is Poirot and Sugden. And Poirot's talking to Sugden. He's like, it is true that your mustache is superb. Tell me, do you use for it a special pomade? Pomade? Good Lord, no. What do you use? Use? Nothing at all. It just grows. Poirot sighs. You are favored by nature. He caressed his own luxuriant black mustache, then sighed. However expensive the preparation.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah.
I forgot
So
about that.
there was a lot of like Inspector Clouseau.
Yeah.
Who's that? The Pink Panther? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's like brilliant, but also he has all these funny one-liners.
Yes. So I had a couple of questions, more philosophical questions that popped out
Oh,
throughout the
okay,
book.
okay. What are
So
they?
one of them is talking about Simeon Lee and his wife and how he just treated her like dirt. And so Hilda's thinking about it and she says, she's like, to all seeming, Simeon Lee was entirely to blame and his wife was abominably treated. At the same time, I honestly believe that there is a kind of meekness, a predisposition to martyrdom, which does arouse the worst instincts in men of a certain type.
I did think that was interesting.
What did you think about that?
I think there could be some truth to that. Like I think in certain circumstances there's an abusive relationship and it is like all one person's fault. Like they're just a monstrous person.
Hmm.
The other person who's being abused didn't do anything wrong. I do wonder though if like you're in a I could see a situation though where someone is kind of like, oh, woe is me. And like they could maybe have an opportunity to like change things or address things, but they're like, I simply cannot, where like they're
Hmm.
potentially, what's the word? Making it go on.
Yeah, it is like
I could see that.
it feels a little victim blamey, but it's like
Yeah.
I kind of get what she's saying, where it's like if you're not standing up for yourself, kind of like that you get what you tolerate type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you're not putting your foot down and being like, this isn't going to happen anymore. I'm not going to
Right.
just let you have all these kids. Like, unacceptable. I'm going to take control of my life. And maybe having like that level of self-respect would make the person give you more respect.
Right. Yeah. Hmm.
But I remember early in my career, I had a lot of like, I wouldn't call it workplace. Maybe I would call it workplace abuse, where it's just like I would have these men, authoritative figures who would be very horrible to me. And I remember like it happened so many times. And I was like, am I doing something that is making these men be so horrible to me?
Interesting.
And I legitimately had that thought. I was like, am I doing something that is like inciting this rage?
Yeah. And then what do you think now looking back on it?
I don't know. I really don't know.
It's really possible you didn't do anything to incite the rage,
Yeah,
you
it
know?
was just like, it was just so many times in a row. I don't know if I was like putting like, because like once you kind of get into that first cycle, it's like sometimes you start to seek it out because you're comfortable. So maybe I was looking
Right.
for people like that, or I was finding people who have these predispositions to treat people poorly. And I was like putting myself in those situations because I felt comfortable like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe part of it was that, like, if that happened to me now, I've had enough positive experiences to know that's not normal.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't sit in a situation like that for so long. So maybe
Yeah.
that was what it was, is that I didn't realize what was happening to me was
Not normal.
so not normal. Yeah. So and then I was just like dealing with it because I was like, well, this is what my life is.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think that could also be part of like the um Simeon Lee and his wife, where it's like maybe she just doesn't know that that's not normal, you
Right.
know? And it's like she kind of needs someone to tell her like, no, actually, this is abusive. Like you shouldn't stand for this. And that
Right.
that's possible that like she ignorance wasn't bliss in that moment. And
Yeah.
so like she's not really to blame because she didn't know any better. But if she
Hmm.
did know better, she could have possibly changed the situation.
Yeah. And I don't think she could have ever made Simeon Lee not treat her poorly. I think the solution probably would have been that she would have been like, all right, I'm taking our money, I'm buying this villa, and I'm not living with you anymore. Like that's just
Yeah.
not what's happening.
Hmm.
But women didn't have a lot of rights then, so I don't know if that's even realistic. This is the
I don't know.
1920s, 1930s.
I
Like,
mean, it could make sense. Buy a second house and just live there on your own.
yeah. And she's like, you're just gonna philander over here and do what
Yeah.
you do, and I'm gonna do what I do.
Yeah.
And I think maybe at that point, maybe he would have been like, oh, this isn't actually what I want. I am actually happier when you're here. I don't know.
I don't know if you would think that. Maybe.
I don't think so. He sounded like, you know, I thought it was really insightful. So Hilda and David's the one who was like the mama's boy, who was like devastated about his mom.
Hmm.
And Poirot says to her, I see that you have had to be a mother to your husband when you would have preferred to be a wife.
That was so good.
I thought
Oh
that
my
was brilliant.
gosh. Yeah. No, I really like that Agatha just dropped in these like wisdom bombs every so
Yeah.
often. Like Poirot
Hmm.
just sees so clearly. He's like, this is what's actually happening. And you're like, oh my gosh, you're right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad you're bringing up all these lines because I really like them too, but I didn't write them down.
So page 188. Page 188. We
Okay.
have the same book, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Page 188. It says, Mrs. George Lee. So this is Magdalene. We got a line on her before her marriage. She was living with a Commander Jones, passed as his daughter, but she, italicized, wasn't his daughter. I think from what we've been told that old Mr. Lee summed her up pretty correctly. He was smart where women were concerned, knew a bad lot when he saw one, and was just amusing himself by taking a shot in the dark. And he got her on the raw. What does that mean?
Yeah. So, I think okay, so was she I forget when Simeon Leah had called all the kids in and was like basically said like I'm changing my will and I hate all of you guys. I think he
Hmm.
said something against Magdalene. I forget what it was, but I think it was something about like she was with like an older man or she was with another man or something and she was like, "No, I wasn't." So I'm thinking this Commander Jones thing, she was actually like his lover.
Oh,
And
maybe that's her boyfriend.
maybe. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right. Maybe she's like still kind of with him. And so Simeon Lee like basically accused her of that and she said that's not true, but it turns out I think actually it was true. That's what I'm piecing together, but I forget what he had said to them.
That would make sense. And maybe what it is that Magdalene and her boyfriend, Commander Jones, they never stopped being boyfriend, girlfriend. And they're kind
Yeah.
of cuckolding George,
Yeah, that could be it.
trying to get all his money. And so that's why she's spending it all the time into like material things that she could sell or keep. And she's just squeezing him dry.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot there in their relationship, and then we don't really get a ton of details there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't seem like great people.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, like at the end of the book, Alfred's like, "Hey, what if we all get together next year again for a real Christmas? What do you think, George?" And George is like, "Depends on how the stock market's doing." And you're like, "What the heck? You just inherited $1 million."
Okay. So there was definitely a lot of good lines happening with Agatha, and you're like, wow, she's so funny, she's so insightful, all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But then that last, I don't even know, eighth of the book, where Poirot is going through all the potential people and their motives, they are so, I don't know another word for it other than racist against Pilar,
There were a lot of things about Pilar.
where they're like, she's Spaniard, she's bloodthirsty, she's un-English, and you're like, whoa,
I
that,
kind of took, mhm.
go for it.
Well, I kind of took it as I don't think Hercule Poirot really said that as much. I think it was other people accusing her, especially I think was it Magdalene who is like
Yeah,
this was a very un-English kind of murder. Hint hint. And I think maybe
yeah,
even Superintendent Sugden said something like that too. But I think Hercule Poirot, he was like quoting those people. He was like, some people have said this is un-English. What do you think of that? So I kind of took
yeah.
it as he was like, these people are crazy, but like, okay, sure, I'll go along with how you guys are describing it, but I don't think that's how it actually is. That's how I
Oh,
read it.
yeah. Yeah. I think that's a better read. And I think that might be like kind of just a sign of the times. That's how it was.
Yeah.
You're not English, therefore you are 10 times more likely to kill someone, you
To
know?
be fair, Pilar was really excited about this bomb that went off and killed everybody. So,
Ugh. That's where Agatha messed up, where it's like if your read of it is correct, it's like then it turns out Pilar is actually all those things.
I was like, what?
Yeah. So then you're kind of like, okay,
Oh my gosh.
cool, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
she like didn't even go to like, her friend's funeral. I'm assuming they were friends. She's like, I'll just take her identity. How
She
about
literally
that?
just took her straw bag and
Yeah,
kept moving.
I know. I was like, my gosh. So yeah, Pilar, a little bit of a conundrum.
Hmm. Yeah. There was another line, it was about Pilar that I pulled up that I thought was really nice. So this is when they were like, why does Pilar not want the money when we're gonna give it to her?
Hmm.
And Lydia says, I once brought some beautiful blue lapis home from Egypt. Out there against the sun and the sand, it was a glorious color, a brilliant warm blue. But when I got it home, the blue of it hardly showed anymore. It was just a dull, darkish string of beads. And I kind of took that as like sometimes I mean, especially back then when you're having a lot of like colonization, you see these people with their family and their friends and like their preferred environment where they're happy and they bloom and they're just so bright and wonderful. And then you take them out of there forcibly in this case, and then they just lose all the color and
Yeah.
they're not able to thrive anymore.
Yeah. That is really good.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
I liked that imagery of like where when you're in like your natural environment, you thrive and you're so great, and then you go into an unnatural environment and you're just dull.
Yeah. Yeah. And it did seem like that's what what's her face? Pilar thought when she went to England. She was like, all these people, they're so upset. They're so sad all the time.
She's like, I just want to dance, like have a party.
I know. Like, all you people too serious.
Yeah.
So I do wonder how she and Harry are gonna, no, Stephen are gonna do in South Africa. Like, all right, I
The
guess you can go
biggest,
back to South Africa.
yeah, well, I mean,
I guess he's from there, so that makes sense.
he's from there. She'll probably like it better than England. England is
Probably
very
better than
rainy and
England.
dreary. Spain, I would imagine, is closer to, well, South Africa is pretty far,
Pretty far. I mean,
and
yeah,
it's very
that's a
different.
huge trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, a big plot hole that I thought is why didn't Stephen ask for his share? Because the will said to all my other children, and he is one of other children.
Well, I'm thinking, I know, I have that same question actually, because especially since they were going to give money to Pilar,
Hmm.
and now Pilar actually isn't part of the family, so she doesn't get money anymore. But now he actually is part of the family,
Hmm.
right? Why wouldn't he even ask? But I wonder if he was like, I don't want your people's money. I just came here to meet my dad. That was it. Like, I don't think maybe he is in it for the money.
I
Maybe.
mean, maybe you wouldn't start, but if I read that will, I'd be like, well, what about me? But maybe, yeah, he doesn't want any of that blood money.
Yeah, because they were even like, well, because Pilar wasn't going to get the money, even though her mom's name was in the will, because there wasn't any like technical language to give it to, the daughters in case of the parent dying or whatever. And
Yeah.
so maybe it's just like, whatever, too much
Hmm.
legal stuff to go through. I don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah, if it's $1 million, sounds like it could be worth it.
I know. But he got his little girlfriend, so
I know. Yeah. So they ended up happy.
yeah, he was like, oh, thank God. It's not weird that I'm in love with my niece.
I think that's all crazy. They've known each other for 3 days. What?
And he found out that she came to con this family.
Well, he was like, me too. We'll get along perfectly.
Well, it sounds like he wasn't there to con the family because he didn't even take the money
Yeah,
that
that's
he could
true.
have tried. It sounds like he just wanted to see his long lost dad. I can have more, okay, understanding for that guy than the girl that's like, well, I assumed my friend's identity to go
After she
con
died
the
in front of my
family.
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when they gave it to me, I was like, this isn't even fun anymore. I was doing this for the sport. And you're like, what? You're like, this is crazy.
Yeah, Pilar is kind of wild.
Yeah.
Any other
Eh,
lines that you liked? Or other?
I think those were the big ones because then after that, it started becoming it started becoming a lot more plot
Hmm.
and clues. And we've already talked about the clues, but there were what I liked about the book is that there was a lot of plot, there's a lot of clues, there's things you're sniffing out, but then there's also every now and then, like you said, these nuggets of wisdom from Agatha Christie or like these very silly scenes about like
Hmm.
mustaches and things like that.
Yeah. And I like that the actual murderer, like it made sense, but I didn't guess it. But it wasn't like
Mhm.
out of nowhere.
Okay, here's a line about Poirot. He's speaking to Pilar. So you have Spanish blood and Irish and English and a touch of gypsy too. Do you know what I think, mademoiselle? With that inheritance, you should make a bad enemy. That's Perot saying that.
Well, that's against like four different cultures, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, so what I would say is that overall very good book. But it is a book of the times. And
Hmm.
part of those times is racism. So there's that. So
So there you go.
so there you go.
Okay. You had sent me a message while you were reading it that said something like, um, you have a lot more respect for Frida. Is that what you said?
Oh,
Oh, I have more respect for Frida.
let me see. Let me channel what I was trying to say.
Oh, wait, never mind, never mind. I think you're saying because you were gonna have to we were gonna have to do voice to text or text to voice or
Oh,
whatever. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Just think my thoughts and then they get typed out. I'll have
okay.
more respect for Frida. Okay, because we think that's how she writes her books, right?
Yeah. What was okay. So this is when I was sick and we were supposed to record on Thursday. And I said, I can't because I'm ill. I was like, right now it's just my throat, so talking will be hard, but my mind is clear. Chrissy, maybe we do our first AI episode. It's all text to voice. And I said, I'd get carpal tunnel typing a 2 hour conversation. And then that's was like, yes, we just need to think my thoughts. I have more respect for Frida because she's having to do all this voice to text
During surgeries.
during surgeries. I'm like, it's not as easy as
How
I
does she
thought.
do it?
Genius.
Okay, I thought you meant after reading Agatha Christie, you have more respect for Frida.
Oh, no, not in that direction.
Okay, between the two things, because we were saying Frida is like our generation's Agatha Christie. Do you still
I would
think
say
that's right?
so.
I still kind of think that.
I think in the sense of like popularity, cranking out these books,
Hmm.
mysteries. Agatha Christie is a professional writer, though, and
It
Frida
does feel very different.
and Frida is a professional medical person who is
Hmm.
writing. So, the level of reading with Agatha Christie, I don't think it's like I don't think it's super hard. It's maybe like a sixth or seventh grade reading level. You could read this
Hmm.
in middle school and you would read it and you would be able to figure it out. And then Frida's writing level is probably, I would say, like fourth or fifth grade, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Okay, I was curious though. It's like, is that also just how the times have changed? Where it's like Agatha Christie was for the normal person, that normal person at a seventh grade reading level, but now Frida's for the normal person and that person has a fifth grade reading level.
That's my initial thought. But then if you think about it, back then in the 20s and 30s, if you were able to read, you were of high society.
I think more people probably could read.
Or
I
if
don't
you
know.
had
I
time
mean,
for
honestly, I have no
leisure,
idea. Yeah, that's true. The
I'm
people who
thinking
are
if you have time
reading.
for, yeah, if you have time for leisure and you're reading and it's like maybe you could read like a sign, right? But it's like now it's like so many people are able to read because, at least in the US, it's like you have public education. So
Well, in
lots
the
of people
20s, I
can
think they
read.
still had that, right? Yeah.
I don't think so. That's when the kids were work, going to work at like the age of 7. This is right before the Great Depression.
I think,
Let's see.
no, no. I think
Well,
1920s really wasn't that long ago.
all right. They're saying according to available data, 1920s, the literacy rate in the US was around 90%. Okay. Yeah. So, well, it says the 1920s saw a great increase in the number of readers in society.
Yeah.
I mean, the flip side to say that what I said was a lie is that Agatha Christie was making millions of dollars by people buying her
Oh,
books.
that's true. Yeah. So people were reading it.
People were reading it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think people are reading it. I wonder if this is kind of like TikTok reflection, because Frida moved so fast. There was a cliffhanger every page. Like,
Hmm.
but I felt like Agatha Christie, like I could have put this book down and picked it up
Hmm.
again later. Like it was more like a leisure book. You take
Yeah.
your time reading it. And I wonder
Hmm.
if that's kind of more the sign or change of the times. Frida's TikTok, Agatha's what? Facebook?
MySpace.
MySpace. The newspaper.
Newspaper. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Like not leaning into that dopamine hit
Hmm.
as much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Hmm.
I like that. Like, well, I guess both books have like a lot of layers and stuff.
Hmm.
Maybe Agatha Christie's characters seem more like fleshed out.
way more fleshed out.
More like actual people.
They feel like actual people. And like when I was reading this, it felt like I was watching a movie almost.
Mm-hmm.
I could
Yeah.
see the scenes in my mind and I could see the conversations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I feel like we talked about Frida, how she's kind of like live, what's that? Reality TV.
Reality TV. Yeah.
Where like I can only watch so much of this. But
Yeah.
Agatha feels more, I don't know, how would you say it?
It feels more substantial.
Yeah, more substantial. That's a good word
It
for
feels
it.
more substantial.
Yeah, like I
I
could read multiple Agatha Christie books, I think, and be like, oh, that was pretty good.
yeah, I read it and I feel like because even though it's very minor, but it's like the vocab that's used in it,
Mm-hmm.
there's like some good words. Maybe that's because sign of the times. Like maybe aquiline was a very popular word then.
Yeah.
Who knows? Google probably does, but we won't do that search right now. But so there's things like that, but then there's also like the sprinkling of like
The wisdom.
wisdom, like we talked
Yeah.
about, that gives you like a moment to reflect and think. I don't get those thoughts when I read a Frida
No.
book.
No, definitely not. Yeah. Agatha also had like she had a few quotes, like she had one from was it Macbeth or something? Like so much blood for such an old person or whatever that quote was. Like they had like this someone else quoted like this old proverb or something. Like it just kind of seemed like there was more depth.
Yes, that part is that is a sign of someone who's very well read.
Yeah.
And that's like if you get like a traditional author, you're going to have someone who's well read and they're going to be able to make
Pull
references
those
like
out.
that.
Yeah. But then
So
part of me is like, oh yeah, you finish.
I was just gonna say I wouldn't expect that from someone who's not a professional writer like a Frida, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could do like multiple have multiple careers. 'Cause there are some people who like have whatever career and they're like, actually, I'm going to write a book, and like they are really well read, and it's not that you have to like get your PhD in English. I don't think to write a good book.
No, but I mean, like Frida will do like in the second housemaid, she kept referencing all these like psychology things, which is
Mm, hmm.
like what she knows. So
Right.
she does it. I just don't think she's as effective as Agatha Christie. It kind of felt like it was jammed in there instead
Mm,
of being
hmm. Like
like,
smoothly layered in.
yeah,
Yeah. No, that's true. But I guess, okay, so what I was going to say earlier too is like, what's the point of reading the book? What's the purpose of these people writing the book? Because, like, if it's pure entertainment, then Frida is probably the way to go,
yeah,
you know? But
I
it's
would
like, but I
agree.
enjoy reading a book like Agatha Christie because it also makes me think. And I also feel like I'm like kind of like learning something. I think I just feel like I'm better after reading the book.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah. And not just purely entertained, like after a Frida book.
Yes,
I think that's what it is.
I agree. The Frida books, purely a donut. Donut, very little nutritional value,
But you love it.
but it tastes good. And if you eat 12 of them in one sitting, you feel ill. Agatha
Yeah.
Christie, mm,
Sandwich,
sandwich. Yeah,
not a steak.
yeah. Still some carbs, still some stuff, well balanced. You know, you
I
get a
could
lot of
eat it
different
every day.
things. Eat it every day. I mean, if I ate 12 of those in one sitting, I'd be sick too.
There's not many things you could eat 12 of in one sitting. And
But I think I would eat 12 donuts in one sitting. I would not eat 12 sandwiches in one sitting. After I've had
that's
one, I've had
true.
enough.
That's true. Like, yeah, yeah. Like, I don't feel, well, I would be happy to read another Agatha Christie book. I don't feel like I like have to.
Yeah, with the Frida books, it's like you're like
One page in
that.
and you have to read the rest of the 12 donuts.
Yeah, you're like the Mr. Toad. We can't stop eating meme. He cried as he grabbed more cookies. Like that's how I feel reading her books. You're just like, oh my God, like I want to stop, but I can't. I
I
can't control
know.
myself because of the dopamine. Okay, so have we picked this book clean? Are we ready to
I think
rate?
so. I think we're ready to rate. I'll pull up our Excel
Okay.
sheet. Okay, so message or theme.
I like the theme. It was about layered family drama,
Mm-hmm.
historical wounds. kind of like you reap what you sow.
Yeah. I had some words of pearls of wisdom in there.
Yeah, I'd give it a 5. I thought it was great.
I think I'll give it a 5 too, especially for the kind of book it is. Like,
Yeah.
I think we're used to reading mysteries, like if you do compare it to a Frida mystery where it's just pure entertainment. But this one, she was able
Hmm.
to do the mystery, but also layer in those like quality things.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Okay, writing style.
5. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything I didn't like.
I
Thought it was
liked how
clear.
it was, yeah, I liked how it was clear, but it was not confusing. Wait, that's the same
Yeah.
thing. I like that. I like that it felt like it was well written, but it was clear.
Yes. Yeah, I think so too. And you're right. There's something I like about having some good vocab in there. Does
Yeah.
that make us reader snobs?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay. I like it being just a tad inaccessible.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you feel smarter after reading it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Alison Kovacs, I felt like she was very good writing style as well, but it was confusing, so I had to dock
It was.
points.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I feel like Agatha Christie, I feel like she struck a really good balance of high level writing, but still accessible.
Yeah.
Maybe someone would have to look up a few words here and there, but like you get what the story is.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so 5 from both of us. Character depth.
5. I thought the characters were very layered.
I know. So good, especially since there are so many and like all of them basically had something like even Magdalene, she was basically just money hungry, but then you find out she has like a secret boyfriend.
Hmm.
Like not like she has a ton of layers, but there's some secrets to her.
It's a big cast and it's a short book.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you do yeah, I feel like you get to know everybody.
Yeah.
There's some
I think it
surprises thrown in
helps.
there.
It helps with the conciseness because it's one family. So it's like as you
Yeah,
learn about one person, you're kind of also learning about everybody.
that's true. Yeah.
But
Yeah. And, mhm.
go for it.
I was going to say, and we kind of talked about this in the first part, but she really did just like expertly to help the reader learn who everyone was because it did get kind of repetitive of like you're constantly rotating between all the different characters, but that helped you
Hmm.
learn everybody. So that
Yeah,
by the end, I actually did know all 12 characters,
right.
which is really impressive, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say in comparison to like God in the Woods, very big
Yeah.
cast. That was
I
if
was
we
still
didn't
kind of
have,
confused.
yeah, if we didn't do all the research and didn't have the character web, we would have gotten lost in the sauce for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. Lands the plane.
I would say in terms of landing the plane, it was a very neat ending. So I would give it a 5.
Are you going to add something in the miscellaneous category on that note?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I really like the ending. I also didn't guess it. I really thought Stephen Farr was going to
Hmm.
be the guy. I was not
Yeah.
thinking about the investigator at all.
Yeah.
So, 5 for me. Okay, other
Hmm.
miscellaneous.
I think I'm going to give a 4.5 just for some of the smaller things that we talked about with
Mm,
I think having Stephen be a son, it just felt too convenient. And then Sugden just immediately relenting after one accusation with a picture with a mustache. It felt there was just some things that felt too convenient.
yeah, I get that. So, what did you say? 4.5?
4.5.
Um, I don't know. Yeah, there were a few things like that. Um, hmm. But I don't know. I'm not sure if there's much I would really change, you know? But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, give it a 5. Go with your gut.
Uh, you know, maybe I'll do 4.5 too. Just copying all of your scores. Okay, are you ready for what the grand total is?
I think it's gonna be like a 4.9.
Yeah, 4.9.
Yeah,
I say you round it to a 5.
I say we round it to a 5.
Maybe I'll change my last score to a 5.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel good about that rating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say near perfect book. Great
Yeah.
execution.
Okay, would you recommend it to a friend?
Definitely.
Yeah, me too. Would you read another Agatha Christie book?
100%.
Oh, do you actually want to add one to the list?
I don't see why not.
Yeah,
We could
I
throw it
say
in
we could
the
do that.
rotation. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. Okay. Other reviews from online, people really like the book overall. There's a few holes that we had talked about already that some people had, but nothing super exciting really came out. Some people were totally surprised by the ending. Some people were like, "Oh, saw it on the first page."
The first page.
Nah,
All
not the
right.
first page, but
Maybe if you've read a lot of her books, maybe there's some repetition that happens, kind of like with a Frida book.
right. I think so. They're like there's a lot of tropes that come up in Agatha Christie books.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, when you write so many, it's hard to be original every time.
Yeah, yeah. Great Christmas read.
Yeah, I thought this was great. So, next up on our list, I think we're going to do a Bookalytics episode.
Oh, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I think we should do a Bookalytics episode, just kind of go through all the highlights. That'll be like our New
Year
Year's
in
Eve.
review.
Yeah, because this one's going to come out right before Christmas. Then we can do New Year's Eve. And then um I think we're going to start Court of Thorns and Roses.
Have you started reading it at all yet?
I've read maybe about 25% of it.
Oh,
Um
wow, you've already read that much?
well, so I had been trying to read this because not friend of the pod, soon to be, once we record this, my dear friend Lexi, she wanted me to read it so bad. And it's like, it turns out I
Mm,
can only read if we're reading for the pod.
I know. I have 4 books that I'm like a quarter of the way through. It's so
I
hard for me
can't
to
make
finish.
time. Yeah, I can't make time unless we're doing it for the pod. So thankfully, Chrissy, I've put it on the rotation. It's a very popular book.
Yeah.
It'll be our first introduction into the romance mix-ups that, mashups that are very popular of the time. So we'll see how we like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting you chose a YA novel after you don't
Well,
like any of my YA suggestions.
we can put in a John Green. Trust me, I have a lot of disdain for this book as I would for other
Ah,
YAs, so no
ah.
worries.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Court of Thorn and Roses is on the docket. Also, we'll need to do Somewhere Beyond the Sea. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
By TJ Klune. That's coming up. I think we should do Fox's Tongue and Kieran's Bone number 2. Because my
I
friend
think
said a
so.
lot of our questions get answered there.
Okay. Did you listen to the pod?
No, I'll need to tell her about it.
Yeah, I should tell her. We need to write a letter to Allison Kovacs.
Oh yeah, we should.
Yeah.
She'd love to hear
So
from us. Still
I
waiting
might,
for Frida to respond.
I know. Um, I'll draft up an email and then you can kind of
Oh
iterate with me.
yay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then I just sent you a link in
Oh,
this chat. So this would be a little bit off the regular because it's a nonfiction book, but it reminded me a lot of um, Such a Bad Influence. I thought that could be, I've heard it's really good.
Andrew read this book. He said he really liked it. This is I'm
Yes.
Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy.
Yeah, everyone says it's so good. I haven't been wanting to read it because the title just makes me so sad.
I know.
But then I was reading the reviews and what it's about, and it's about her mom being like momager, but like to the extreme, and like it was a really
Yeah.
abusive relationship. While she
Yeah.
was this is the star from iCarly,
Hmm.
Sam from iCarly, and so she was like child star, and her mom was. It sounds like such a bad influence.
Yes. Yeah. Let me talk to Andrew about it, get his thoughts, see if he thinks it'd be good for the pod. But I wouldn't mind throwing that on the rotation.
Yeah, it just seems like a book that we might enjoy reading.
Hmm. I agree.
So cool.
Okay, well, if you guys have any recommendations for books that you want to put on the list, you can drop us a comment, you can send us an email. We do take recommendations from our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And while you're doing that, make sure to rate, review, and follow us. We need more 5 stars on Spotify. We're at a 4.6, which isn't bad, but it isn't good. We really need to be in the 4.8 area. That's when you know you're a good pod. Because if you're perfect
Yeah.
5, that means you don't have enough ratings. So 4.8, 4.9, that's really the sweet spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're almost there.
Almost. Yep, we're climbing. We fell, but now we're climbing back up.
Mm-hmm. The housemaid has brought us back.
Yes, yes. Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, this has been great. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I love hanging out with you.
Yeah, you too.
All
Feel
right.
better. Love you.
Yes. Love you. Bye.
Bye.